Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be going over all of the Blu-ray and 4K movies that I've purchased for the month of May 2025. So yeah, that being said, there's not too many Blu-rays, just a few here, quite a fair few amount of 4Ks. But yeah, that being said, let's just get straight into it. So the first one I've got here is a war movie from the late first decade of the 2000s. I really enjoy this film. It's probably my favourite Daniel Craig film. I actually really like this movie more than any of the James Bond films. But yeah, it's Daniel Craig in Defiance. This is just such a great war film for me. Not so much focusing on the war itself, but about these three Jewish brothers who kind of house and protect these fellow Jews, living in the woods, moving from place to place so they don't get found by the Nazis. I just think this is a really, really good film. Really, really enjoy it. Great performances. And yeah, really, really good movie. So that is Defiance. Next up, this is one that I purchased when I did a trip to Newcastle. A few of us here on YouTube met up together. Myself, Nigel from Rock God 2004, Carlos, Eastwood fan for life, Scott from Scott the Movie Critic, and Sam from Sammy G's World of Cinema. Laura as well, Nigel's wife. We met up and we had an absolute blast. We had a great time when we were up there. Went to cinema, went shopping, went out for food. It was just great company and a great time. So we went to one of the CEXs there and I picked up this movie. It's Mel Gibson in Payback. I haven't seen this film in a long time. Upgraded it from DVD. I haven't seen it since I first bought it on DVD. We're talking 10, 12 years ago. But yeah, I do need to give this one a rewatch. Like I said, been a long time since I've seen it, and I know this has got, I think, both cuts of the movie, theatrical and directors. So yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. That's, that's Payback. Next up, Bumper sorted me out with some movies that I was after that I just couldn't get hold of anywhere. So yeah, he kindly did me these 6 movies here. So the first one is with Tom Selleck, and this movie was okay. I didn't love it, but it was all right. And it's Hair Alibi. It just lacked that charm from an 80s, early 90s, late 80s comedy that I wanted, because I do enjoy Tom Selleck movies, like movies like An Innocent Man and Runaway. But yeah, this one it didn't hit the mark for me. I was a little bit disappointed, but an alright kind of movie, I guess. But yeah, that's Hair Alibi. Next up, this one was, yeah, it had to be seen to be believed, this one. Pat Morita and Jay Leno in Collision Course. Yeah, this was not a good movie. I really liked the cast in it, though. Chris Sarandon as the villain in this. The villain death in this movie was just so over the top. It kind of won me over a little bit because the rest of the film was just not good. But yeah, it was just a weird movie. That's Collision Course. Next up, we have Moving Violations. This was just a weird movie, but I did kind of enjoy it. It had one of the Keachers in there, a couple of other familiar faces. I think Jennifer Tilly was in here as well. But yeah, this was kind of like a bit more of a raunchier police academy type of movie, but yeah, it was just bizarre. But yeah, that's Moving Violations. Next up, I really wanted to like this movie as well. Ryan O'Neal, Shelley Long, Drew Barrymore. Irreconcilable Differences. It was just, yeah, it just wasn't good. It reminded me of another movie that I haven't seen, but I kind of know the premise. The movie North, I think with Elijah Wood. He wants to divorce his parents. And I've heard that movie got absolutely slated. I think it was one of the worst movies Roger Ebert ever saw in his life. But yeah, this one, it kind of follows Drew Barrymore, who wants to divorce her parents, because it was kind of like, I don't know if it was like a law that had just come in or something. And they decided to base a movie on it. I don't know, but yeah, it was just a weird movie. I don't know. It was bizarre, but yeah, that's all I can really say about it. Now, this next one surprised me. I had a really good time at this one. Judd Nelson, Elizabeth Perkins, John Hurt, and that is a movie called From the Hip. This was, yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. It follows sort of Judd Nelson's character, who's just becoming this new lawyer, and he wins this case, and no one thought he could win it, and he cheats the system in winning it. I won't say how, but it's a bit of a giveaway and a bit of a twist in the movie. But he wins this case, and it catches the eye of John Hurt's character, who's on trial for murder. And he sees this new lawyer, and he wants him to represent him, Judd Nelson's character. And for me, who stole the show in this movie was John Hurt. There was a scene in this, it was only like a few minutes. He was menacing as hell in this movie. I thought this was going to be like an offbeat comedy, which it kind of sort of was. But John Hurt is just really giving it his all in this movie. He has such a commanding voice. That's why he got like cast in Watership Down, I guess, because just of how his voice sounds. And he did that infamous AIDS advert in I think the late 80s. But yeah, this movie, he was really good in it. Really, really enjoyed it. And not taking anything away from Judd Nelson either. He was a lot of fun in this film. But yeah, this was a massive, massive surprise for me. So that is From the Hip. And next up, this was a lot of fun as well. Mary Cross, Rebecca De Mornay in Feds. So this is very much a female buddy cop movie, and it was very much a breath of fresh air to see this type of movie. These two women who are trying to get in to qualify for the FBI, and it's just sort of about their training, about some of the cases they've been put on. It was just a fun 80s buddy cop movie, but with a female-led cast. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that is Feds. So next up, we've got a couple of movies here that I actually sort of put together myself, a physical format for them, because I don't think these movies are ever going to get a physical release, unfortunately. But for me, I had a great time with some of these movies. So the first one we've got here is the new Guy Ritchie movie. This was okay. It is Fountain of Youth. It was all right. It was just bang average for me, this movie, unfortunately. I just thought it was okay. I thought it really, really did have me hooked with its cast, like John Krasinski, Natalie Portman. I thought, yeah, this could be a fun adventure movie, but it was just okay. I think it just heavily relied on movies from the genre from the past, and it just didn't bring anything new to the table, unfortunately. But yeah, that's Fountain of Youth. The next one we've got here is Fear Street Prom Queen. Now, I know this movie has not been getting the best of reviews lately, particularly around the YouTube circuit. A lot of the bigger channels have sort of been saying this movie isn't very good. For me, this was the best of the Fear Street movies. I know that's a long shot, and that's really like high praise. Because those three movies where, you know, I think everyone's got their favourite, but for me, I really enjoyed this one. And I think it was because of the 80s setting. The high school prom queens sort of setting for this movie really, really won me over. Yeah, it was just everything that I wanted it to be. I didn't have any high expectations for it. It didn't surprise me either, but it just ticked a lot of boxes when I wanted to sit down and watch a slasher film. An 80s soundtrack, a lot of people have been complaining about that as well, how it's very generic, cookie-cutter music used in this movie, not enough deep cuts. But for me, those songs were still the songs I think of when I think of the 80s, and I didn't have a problem with it. But it was just a fun slasher movie with creative kills. I enjoyed it and thought it was the best Fear Street movie so far. Yeah, that's Fear Street Prom Queen. And next up we have, with Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt, we have The Electric State. So yeah, this one is the new movie by the Russo brothers, I think, and it was fine. It was fine. It was okay. It was just a throwaway movie. Probably had way too much of a giant budget behind this one, because it really does show. But for a Netflix movie, I think this movie probably should have had a cinematic release, because I couldn't see this movie in any way making its money back for whatever reason. But I thought it was all right. It was just fine. An above average movie, but I still liked it. I just thought it was inoffensive. But yeah, that's The Electric State. Next up, we've got some rarer deep cuts that I've added to my collection here. I was on a bit of a River Phoenix kick, and I decided to watch this one. So this is A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reiden. Yeah, this again was just a bit of a weird movie. I'd never heard of it before. Again, it stars River Phoenix. It also stars, to my surprise, a very young Matthew Perry in this movie as well, which it's tragic that both of those actors are no longer with us. But yeah, it was just this weird sort of movie. It takes place before he goes off to college in this film, I think. And it's just about the relationships he forms and how he kind of gets screwed over by this one girl. Yeah, it was just a weird movie, but I kind of sort of liked it all at the same time. Very likable cast. But yeah, that is A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reiden. Now next up, we've got a TV movie. And for a TV movie, I thought this movie was excellent. So this is called Surviving a Family Crisis. Now, to reel off the cast of this film, for a TV movie, Ellen Burstyn, River Phoenix, Molly Ringwald, Zach Gilligan, and Heather O'Rourke, to name but a few. Yeah, this was a real surprise for me, this movie. This movie is available on YouTube to watch as well, so if you are interested in checking it out, do check out. There is a version, I think it's 2 hours, 17 minutes. Yeah, this movie really surprised me. I thought it was, for a TV movie, I thought it was excellent. But for a general movie overhaul, it does have some hokey problems, like the acting's a little bit off here and there from a few characters, but the premise of this movie, really, I had no idea what it was about. And I'm probably not going to go into too much about it because I completely benefited from this movie not knowing anything what it was about. I'll just say there was a moment halfway through the movie where I was just like, wow, completely sort of had the rug pulled from under me. And it just broke my heart. But yeah, I'll leave it there about this movie. If you do want to check it out, I think it is on YouTube. I really enjoyed this for a TV movie. The cast was excellent. So that is Surviving a Family Crisis. Next up, this one unfortunately wasn't a good movie, but I was sold on the cast. Alan Ruck, Charlie Sheen, Kerry Green, and that is Three for the Road. So this kind of stars Charlie Sheen as this very sort of promising, upcoming, clean-cut person who wants to become a lawyer and work for Congress. And this senator he wants to impress tasks him with traveling his daughter to like a mental hospital, and he says, like, if you do this, I'll like make sure like you're looked after and such and such. So he agrees. His daughter's played by Kerry Green and his roommate played by Alan Ruck go on this road trip, and it's just her trying to be annoying as possible and just trying to escape all the time. And it goes a bit deeper. She like kind of wants to sort of go and see her mother and sort of rebuild the connection there. But yeah, it's just nothing special, but I couldn't help but like it because of the 80s setting and its quirkiness. It did work for me, but yeah, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. So that's Three for the Road. Now next up, we've got a movie here that I had the beginning of this movie on tape when I was younger, and it was one of these tapes where I had a couple of movies on there. I think I had like Robin Hood. It had trailers for Return of the Jedi and Back to the Future Part 2 on this tape, and a really old episode of Top of the Pops from 1989 on this tape. Story for a different day, but the end of the tape had the beginning of this movie on. And I was absolutely hooked by the music used at the start of this film. And this is another movie that is, again, doesn't have anything released past VHS. It is available on YouTube, I believe. There's a few versions of it. But this was a fun, time-traveling Western adventure film. And that is Time Stalkers. Yeah, so I managed to watch the movie in full a couple of years ago, and it didn't live up to the hype or the expectations, but that beginning of the movie, that music in the intro is just so 80s for me. It is so synth. I adore it. I just loved the opening to this movie. And when I watched it in full, some of Klaus Kinski's acting in this is not good, but just a very, very likable movie despite it lacking in quality. But yeah, if you want to check it out, it's on YouTube. That's Time Stalkers. This next one, I believe this is Winona Ryder's second movie. It also stars Rob Lowe, and that is Square Dance. I haven't seen this again for the longest time. I think it was on YouTube years ago. It's probably been taken down now. But yeah, it's kind of one of these country movies from the US. Rob Lowe in this movie would not get away today playing this type of character in the movie. I'm not going to say what it is. I'll get into that. But yeah, it's definitely a dated movie. Some things in here you couldn't get away with, but for a movie at the time, just don't watch these types of movies through 2025 glasses because it will hinder your enjoyment. But yeah, this one for me was pretty good from what I remember, but I need to give it a rewatch. So yeah, that's Square Dance. Now this next one for me is an animated movie from the early 80s. This is a Hanna-Barbera film. I don't know if there's any other way of getting this movie or hold of it, but this one for me was a movie that I used to watch over and over and over again when I was a kid at my grandparents' house. I hadn't seen this movie. I watched this movie a couple of days ago and I hadn't seen it since I was about 7 or 8. And nearly 30 years absence without this movie, I was completely taken back to that time. And the movie is Heidi's Song. Now, yeah, this is just, it's a kid's movie, it's an animated movie, Hanna-Barbera, like I said, but for an early 80s movie, the animation in this is absolutely exceptional. Is really, really top-notch for a movie of the time. The characters in it are great, the villains in it are colourful and enjoyable. There's a dream sequence in this movie that is just very, very much like the pink elephant sequence from Dumbo. It's just so trippy and creative and colourful, and it's just an onslaught on the senses. But yeah, it just follows this girl, Heidi, her parents have died, and she's been forced by her auntie to go and live with her grandpa on her family's other side. So she stays with him for a bit, and then she's like pulled back out and is forced like into sort of labour to work at this family where they have like a disabled daughter, and she has to work, sort of stay there and be friends. But the parents are, it's a long story, but yeah, this for me was just a blast from the past. And we all have those types of movies, those hidden, forgotten movies that we remember from our childhood and can't get hold of again. But this for me was just something that had been fulfilled and it had come around full circle on a personal note. So yeah, that's Heidi's Song. And next up, sort of the last of the Blu-rays here now, we've got two special editions from Second Sight. First one we have is Ty West's House of the Devil. So yeah, this one for me is an upgrade from the previous Blu-ray. I do like Second Sight editions. I am trying to sort of get my hands on as many as possible. But yeah, I'm definitely probably not going to pick up the Talk to Me one because I've got that one on 4K and I wasn't a massive fan of that movie. But yeah, House of the Devil. It's a slow film for Ty West. It's not one of my favourites by him. I do prefer the X trilogy. I think that's real. They're the movies that sort of put his name on the map. But this one, it was all right. It was okay. It had a good cast. It was just a very, very slow-moving movie for me, anyway. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it, and probably do need to give it a rewatch again and judge it under a fresh pair of eyes. So yeah, that's House of the Devil. And the next one we have is the other release that came along with that one, and that is The Coffee Table. Now, this is definitely not going to be a movie for everyone with its premise. I'm not going to get into the premise, but yeah, if you've seen the movie, it just really touches on some bleak subject matter with the main premise of this movie. There's a sub-premise to this film that could be a whole other tension-filled movie in and of itself, and they just add that on, and they just pile on the tension, the uncomfortableness, the just bleakness in this movie is just ramped up. And yeah, it's done well, it's executed well. It's not a very gory movie, it's just uncomfortable with its subject matter and what it's touching on. But it's a good movie, it's well made, it's well crafted, it's well executed. Yeah, it's just, the subject matter is not going to be for everyone. So yeah, that is The Coffee Table. So moving into the 4Ks now, the first one I've got here is a box set that I picked up from that trip that I was very fortunate enough to go on to Newcastle. And this is a series of movies that I'm actually not the biggest a fan of. My favourite one is probably the second one, and I haven't seen the fifth one yet. I haven't heard the best of things about it. But yeah, decided to pick up on 4K and get these movies in a nice set at least. And that is the Pirates of the Caribbean films. Yeah, these for me, just unfortunately the first one does nothing for me, but I absolutely love the second one. And I can't explain why. It's just such a fun adventure film, the second one for me. I'm just not a big fan of the original. The third one's okay, and the fourth one wasn't good. And like I said, I'm yet to see the fifth one, but that second movie for me, I really, really enjoy it, but wanted to get them all on a decent set anyway. And this was on sale. I think this had like £20 off in the HMV sale. So yeah, I just decided to pick it up. So yeah, that's the Pirates of the Caribbean collection. Next up, HMV also have this offer on. I think it's 3 for £50 on their 4Ks at the moment. And they've added some interesting titles to that selection. But the first one I got was Akira Kurosawa's Ran. I haven't seen this since DVD, and yeah, I do need to give it a rewatch. I know some of Kurosawa's movies are just absolutely stunning to look at, and I remember Ran being visually interesting, so looking forward to seeing what the 4K brings for it. So yeah, that is Ran. And also in that deal, I picked up a movie I don't remember being amazing, but I thought I'd give it a go, give it a rewatch. Robert Downey Jr., Mel Gibson in Air America. I remember this movie being okay. Been, again, such a long time since I've seen it, but I thought I'd add a decent 4K copy of it to the ever-growing sort of Studio Canal collection. And then from MGM and 88 Movies, this one is a nice box deluxe edition, and it was in that 3 for $50 offer, so I just thought I'd get as well From Beyond from Stuart Gordon. So yeah, this is another sort of 80s horror movie, over-the-top effects. I think I remember Ken Foree being in this as well. Jeffrey Combs, if I'm not mistaken. Again, been such a long time since I've seen it, but the colours on that just absolutely pop. I think it's a stunning set as well. Nice slipcover with a glossy finish to it and a hardback box to house the Amaray in. Yeah. These 88 sets are really nice, and I can't wait to get my hands on the American Pie 2 release next month. So again, going into some more of the movies I got from HMV on that deal when I came back to Liverpool, I decided to get a couple of video nasties. This first one isn't a nasty, it's not off the list, but it's still a horror film nonetheless. So I opted to get A Blade in the Dark. So yeah, again, these slipcovers that 88 are doing for these movies, again with the alternative artwork underneath, they really, really know how to do slipcovers. But I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm looking forward to watching it. And yeah, some images here I can't show on the back, but yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. So that's A Blade in the Dark. Next up was a movie that is a nasty. It is off the list. And I was showing these movies to Nigel, and I said, look, I bought these 2 movies, and he said, do you want to do a watch along with them? And I was like, sure, absolutely. So we watched this one last night at the time I'm recording this, and I think it's first on the list. I think it comes first alphabetically, and that is Absurd. I thought this was quite slow to get going. Really, really did deliver on the effects, in my opinion, for a movie from this era. I think when these types of movies play the effect down, it's a lot more effective rather than playing the kill up and it becoming fake and unbelievable. It really, really knew how to shoot it and make it look as effective as possible, the kills in this movie. But yeah, what won me over though massively with this movie was its ending. Very, very strong finish. It reminded me a little bit of Sleepaway Camp, not in how that movie ends, but just how impactful it is. It just ends on a really, really strong note, and then the movie just says the end and it's over. But yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. Can see why it got banned. There's just a lot of gore in this. But yeah, that's absurd. And the next one is another nasty that I haven't watched yet. I will be watching this with Nige at some point as well. And yeah, it is Anthropophagus. Yeah, I know one thing about this movie which is just too horrific to repeat, but yeah, I'm in for a surprise with this one, I guess. I haven't seen it yet as of the time of recording, but yeah, I will give this one a go, and I'm sure Nige can't wait to see my face when certain scenes happen in this movie. So yeah, that's Anthropophagus. And next up, I did opt for another 3 movies for £50. The first one I got was, this is a bit of a guilty pleasure, it was just a box office bomb, renowned for being a bad movie, Pamela Anderson in Barbed Wire. I haven't seen this again from DVD, but I thought, yeah, if there's a 4K release of it, I'll try and get hold of it. So yeah, that's Barbed Wire. And next up, we've got 2 M. Night Shyamalan movies. The first one being The Sixth Sense. Wanted to upgrade this from Blu Ray onto 4K because this is probably one of his movies that I rewatch the most. But yeah, really, really good movie, this one. That's The Sixth Sense. And then the next one was his sort of follow-up to that. A lot of people say this is his best movie. I can't really argue with that, but yeah, it's not one. I don't think it's as good as The Sixth Sense, but yeah, that's Unbreakable. Yeah, this is a really good comic book movie. Really, really enjoy it. It's just not as good as Sixth Sense for me, or as impactful, but I still like this movie nonetheless. So yeah, that's Unbreakable. And next up, we've got some newer movies here that I decided to get on 4K. The first one we have is the absolutely arse-numbing The Brutalist. Really good film. Really, really enjoy this one. Following this immigrant who's an architect by trade, and he comes to America, and he ends up being hired to sort of refurnish this library at this sort of rich person's house, played by Guy Pearce in the movie. And he loses his temper with him at first, but then realizes that he's actually done a good job and wants to hire him for a much, much more bigger and ambitious project. And yeah, things go from there. It's just sort of about this big religious temple that they want to sort of build. But yeah, things happen. And I was like, why is this movie an 18? There's a scene at the end which is the justification for why this movie is an 18. It's an essay scene in the movie, so if you are upset by that kind of stuff, do sort of be wary going into this one. Yeah, it does go there at the end. Although it's not the most graphic scene. I've seen worse, but once your brain starts ticking and realizing what's going on, you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. But yeah, I thought this was a good movie. Really, really enjoyed it overlong. I went to the cinema to see it. The intermission was like 30 minutes at the cinema. I think it's only 5 minutes on the 4K. Really weird, but yeah. Adrian Brody, I think, was well deserved the winning Best Actor for this one as well. So yeah, that is The Brutalist. Next up, yeah, one of my favourite movies to be released from last year. It was a 2024 movie, but it didn't get a cinema release here until early 25. But yeah, one of the best musical biopics. I really, really enjoyed this one. Timothée Chalamet as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown. Really, really good movie. Absolutely love the music in this film. I do like a lot of Bob Dylan songs, but I wouldn't go as far to say I'm a massive fan of him, because his body of work, in my opinion, is just absolutely gigantic. Blood on the Tracks is one of my favourite albums ever, but the movie doesn't cover that era. It's a lot of his earlier stuff, and yeah, when he performs The Times They Are Changing in this film, I just got goosebumps. And a lot of other songs that were introduced to me by this movie, like It Ain't Me Babe and I think it's North Country Girl, two fantastic songs. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this film. Thought it was great. So yeah, that's a complete unknown. And next up, we got Sean Baker film. Now, a lot of people are saying this movie's great and they're absolutely loving it. I'm very much on that train with this movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I saw this. I did a double bill at the cinema. I went to see Heretic with Hugh Grant first, and then straight after that, I went in to see this one. I had a really fun time with this movie. It deals with, sort of a very mature sort of subject matter, but it just turned out to be so much fun, and that is Anora. I just, really, really enjoyed this film. Plot-wise, it's very stretched out, but it doesn't feel like that. It's just very, very funny with its dialogue in the second half of this movie. But overall, what's happening, it's very drawn out. You're just waiting for a big conclusion, and it does feel a little bit anticlimactic on reflection. But I've just got to say, the all this stuff in between is just handled so well, and I just really, really enjoyed the movie for that. And yeah, I thought Mikey Madsen was great in the film. So yeah, that's Anora. And next up, this was a bit of an odd film for me. I did like it, but it was just a bit weird. But I've got to commend it for being that. And it is the new Bong Joon-ho movie, and that is Mickey 17. Yeah, just a weird sci-fi movie with Robert Pattinson. It's all about cloning, I guess. Oh God, Mark Ruffalo. Name was on the tip of my tongue there. Was really, really fun in the movie as well. Toni Collette was great in the movie. I just really enjoyed it, but it was just a bit weird. I was just like, am I going to watch this again? But yeah, it was a fun time. I did like it, but yeah, maybe a while before I give it another rewatch. So yeah, that's Mickey 17. So coming up next, we got 5 steelbooks here of some sort of older movies. But yeah, these were getting released on 4K. I think some of them were for the first time. If not all 5 of these, first time on 4K. So the first one we've got here, Heath Ledger in A Knight's Tale. I haven't seen this movie again in the longest time, which is why I've decided to buy it, give it a rewatch in 4K, and see if it's as good as I remember it. But yeah, good supporting cast in this one. Mark Addy, I absolutely love that guy. I've loved him ever since I saw him in The Full Monty. But yeah, just looking forward to checking this one out again. That's A Knight's Tale. Next up, absolutely a classic western here from the early 90s. Amazing cast as well. Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, to name but a few, in Tombstone. Fantastic looking 4K, fantastic looking steelbook. Just a great movie with an all-around exceptional cast. Yeah, just some actors in here that I just sadly missed, that I'm absolutely gutted that they're no longer with us, like Val Kilmer and Bill Paxton and Powers Booth. But yeah, just an amazing cast. So yeah, that's Tombstone. And next up, we've got with Bill Murray. I think it's Harold Ramis movie as well that he directed. He's also in the film, and that is Stripes. Yeah, just a really fun comedy set around these new recruits who join the army. Amazing cast as well. I think John Candy's in there, John Larroquette. Like I said, Bill Murray. Yeah, just a really fun army-based movie that I haven't seen in a while, so I'm looking forward to checking it out again. That's Stripes. And next up, we've got 2 Clint Eastwood movies. I did purchase the big Clint Eastwood collection, but yeah, decided I couldn't say no to these on 4K because these for me are exceptional films. So the first one we have is The Outlaw Josie Wales. Yeah, just again, another great western. And of course, as well to go along with that, we have Clint Eastwood in Pale Rider. So yeah, just 2 great westerns. It's been a while since I've seen them. I remember Pale Rider being quite brutal. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking these out again. Very, very slowly working my way through that box set. I did watch Play Misty for Me the other night, again with Nigel, which was fantastic. Forgot how good that movie was. That Blu Ray looked like a 4K in and of itself, but yeah, I'm looking forward to checking these two out again. So it's Pale Rider and The Outlaw Josie Wales. So next up from Arrow, we've got one of their 4K standard releases, and that is the Andromeda strain. Been a long time since I've seen this one again. I don't remember too much about it, but I had this one on pre-order and it turned up and I was like, oh yeah, I remember ordering that. So yeah, I will give this one a go again soon, but it's just been a long time so I remember it. I can't really hardly remember anything about it. So that's the Andromeda strain. Next up from Hammer, another box edition sort of go along with the four-sided triangle that came out. We have Shatter. So again, I don't really know anything about this movie. The Hammer movies for me are very, very much a blind spot. But yeah, I thought I'd give this one a go and see what it's like. I was very, very impressed with the Captain Kronos set and movie. Surprised by how much I actually enjoyed that film, and I can't wait for Quatermass. So yeah, thought I'd give Shatter a go as well. So looking forward to checking that one out. Now next up, we have the contender for potentially being in at least the top 3 4Ks of the year. It's probably sitting at number 1 right now in terms of its transfer for an older movie, and it is the Warner Brothers 4K boxed edition of Dirty Harry. Again, another movie me and Nigel sat down and watched. We were so impressed with the transfer of this movie. It just looked absolutely phenomenal. It looked great. It's a great movie anyway in its own merit, and yeah, just definitely the best of the Dirty Harry films. But to see it in 4K was just an absolute treat and a delight. It looked stunning. But yeah, the movie itself, it's just one of the great cop crime movies from the 70s with a killer that you just want to see get his comeuppance because he is so despicable. But yeah, it's just a great movie. Really, really enjoy this one. So yeah, that's Dirty Harry. And again, sort of keeping within the vein of Clint, I picked up from Arrow a Fistful of Dollars and the follow-up for a few dollars more. So yeah, everybody is sort of chomping at the bit now who has these two movies, For the Good, the Bad and the Ugly. I know we're going to get that at the end of next month, and Arrow haven't disappointed with these two. For me, this is a trilogy where each entry gets better as the trilogy goes along. A Fistful of Dollars is a great movie. For a few dollars more is an even better one in my opinion, and The Good, the Bad and the Ugly is a masterpiece. But yeah, to see Arrow give these movies this type of treatment is just so fun, so delightful, and yeah, it's great. Roll on the end of next month so we can get The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. And also as well, I've kind of sort of noticed this with Arrow as well, the way they sort of design the spines for these films, that it is going to make like a little picture underneath, which is great, and when we get The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, that'll be finished off. So yeah, just great work that Arrow have done with those two films so far. I just hope they don't drop the ball with the last one. And to kind of finish off this part of the video, I've got 6 Scream Factory titles here. I absolutely love these editions and I love the work that Scream Factory do. Scream Factory, for me, when it comes to their 4Ks, they're probably the best company to handle a 4K transfer in my opinion, because I just think their films just look so good. Maybe one or two ones that haven't really sort of stood the test, but there's a few where I've sat down and I couldn't really believe what I was watching in terms of quality. This first one, though, for me, is one of my favourite horror films from the 80s. I just adore this film. I love everything about it. So this is the Collector's Edition 4K from Scream Factory of Night of the Creeps. Yeah, just what a fun film. Just absolutely love it. A few sci-fi elements at the start of the movie, but when it gets going, Tom Atkins, zombies, 80s college setting, I'm sold. And yeah, just absolutely loved it. Love this movie. It's so much fun. Just, yeah, I just think it's great. So that is Night of the Creeps. And next up, we've got with Lance Henriksen, we have Pumpkinhead. So yeah, again, this was one that I hadn't seen since it came out on DVD, and I gave it a rewatch. And I enjoyed the movie a hell of a lot more. It's one of these sort of monster tale fables, these tales where, you know, people say, oh, Pumpkinhead's going to come and get you if you do this, that, and the other. And yeah, I did enjoy it. It has this like small town farm setting to it, and yeah, I did like it a lot more on rewatch. So yeah, that's Pumpkinhead. And speaking of movies that I liked on rewatch a hell of a lot more, I wasn't a fan the first time I saw it, but I sat down, put on the 4K, and I was just blown away by how well this movie looked. And I believe people have been saying it's one of the worst looking 4Ks from Scream Factory. I did not get that. I did not get that at all. I loved how this movie looked. Fairuza Balk, Robin Tunney, Nev Campbell in The Craft. Yeah, just what a fun teen witchcraft movie. Really, really enjoy this one. Yeah, it was just really good. Really good on a rewatch. I didn't like it at all when I saw it on DVD, but I just really, really experienced the fun factor with this movie on 4K. I don't know what it was, but yeah, it was just great. Really, really enjoyed it. So much fun with it. I don't know if this was before, or someone could probably correct me in the comments. I don't know if this was before or after Scream, but it has Skeet Ulrich in there as well. Played Billy Loomis in Scream. So you kind of got like a little reunion or a bit of a precursor there with Nev Campbell. But yeah, what a fun film this was. Absolutely loved it. The 4K was stunning. Great cast. Yeah, what a treat. That's The Craft. Next up, we've got a remake from 1982. Natasha Kinski and Malcolm McDowell in Cat People. So yeah, I remember seeing this movie, the second half of this movie anyway, when I was a kid, like skipping through the channels late at night. I think it was BBC Two. I put this movie on, and I was just blown away by some of the violence in this movie. That scene where with Ed Begley Jr., I remember that when I was a kid. That just stuck out to me. With John Hurd being in this movie as well from Home Alone. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this one out again. This is one of the rare times as well that Scream Factory have given us like alternative artwork as well on the Amaray as well. So we've got two lots of artwork, which is great. I love it when they do that. They don't always do it all the time, but when they do, it is a warm welcome. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to checking this one out again and on 4K. So that's Cat People. And the next one we have is the one that had been on my watch list, and I had a notification off eBay that the price had dropped a little bit, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll buy it at that price. And that's Liv Tyler in Strangers. So I don't remember liking it too much, but I hope I sort of had the same effect as I did with The Craft and Pumpkinhead. Just like it a lot more when I watch it on 4K. I don't know why or what that is, but yeah, I don't know. I find that sometimes with 4K actually enhances my enjoyment of the film. Weirdly happened as well with Halloween Resurrection, and that's a terrible movie, but somehow on 4K it was just a lot more digestible. And yeah, I'm hoping it's the case with this one as well. So yeah, that is The Strangers. And the last movie here I've got in this whole video is a bit of a letdown, unfortunately, with the amount of special features on this one. But it is the 4K from Scream Factory. It's a bit of a weird movie for Scream Factory to put out as well. Jean-Claude Van Damme in Time Cop. Yeah, this is just one of Van Damme's better movies in my opinion. Really, really enjoy this one. I enjoy Ron Silver as the villain in this movie as well. But the Scream Factory, this is just a bare bones 4K release, unfortunately. I mean, I was watching Oliver Harper's review of this, and he just said he found it so laughable the way that one of the special features here is the fact that it is actually a 4K transfer, which is just insane, and he's absolutely right. It's just laughable. There's just nothing extra on this with this movie, just apart from the 4K transfer. But Talking about the movie itself, I haven't seen it again in a long time. It's one of Van Damme's better movies, like I said. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's not my favourite Van Damme. I think the crown for me goes to Sudden Death. But Time Cop again, it's just a fun movie. The title sounds fun. The cover looks great. Yeah, I just really, really have a fun time at this one. So that is Time Cop. So yeah, guys, gonna leave the video there. That is all of the Blu-ray and 4K movies that I've purchased for the month of May 2025. So yeah, gonna leave it there, guys, and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.